out the gate. A little bit about me. I'm Dwight Taylor Sr., husband of one wife. You know what I'm saying? Father of three of the most phenomenal, amazing kids on the planet. And phenomenal, amazing just means phenomenal and amazing put together. My oldest son, Dwight Jr., is 18, just graduated from high school this past June. My youngest son is a senior in high school, about to be 18 in February, and my beautiful baby girl, my princess, the joy of my life. She's 10 years old in the 5th grade. And man, I'm a family man. That's what it comes down to. You know what I mean? Like, I can tell you all of my accolades, all the accomplishment, all my failures, but the main and most important thing about me is that I'm striving to be the greatest husband that I can be for my wife and the greatest father, that I can be for my kids. And I want to just by giving a little context. My wife and I got married in 2008. We got separated in 2013. We got divorced in 2014. I asked her to remarry me in 2016. So we're on round right now, right? And so I share that to say somebody might be out there right now. A father might be out there. A man might be out there who is either dealing with a relationship or trying to think about if they want to get married or in the midst of marriage or maybe on the brink of divorce. Like, holla at me. I know the complexities of marriage. I know the complexities of blended family. I just know, I've been blessed to be in a situation where I know the complexities of life. And so that's what I want to share with the world with my time that I'm here. Along with that, I'm the oldest of 7. So I'm the big brother, and I take pride in that. You know what I mean? Like, I take pride and ownership, and I accept that responsibility to pour into my siblings. And one of the things that I believe is that we should always be honoring those who came before us, at the same time empowering those who come behind us. And so, although I'm the oldest of my siblings, I'm like the youngest of this generation above me. And so I always want to shout out my grandparents, pops, grands, and my grandmother Gam. Like, they are the ones who raised me, along with my aunties, uncles, and the village that we all know about, right? Like, I literally had that village to help me become the man that is before you today. My mother and father, they were 17 and 18 when they had me. And fortunately, they had great teammates in my grandparents to help them, when they were off being teenagers. You dig what I'm saying? So, and so now, although they may have not have been there as often as I wanted them to be, when they were there, they were there. But now, my mom and dad, we locked in. You know what I'm saying? They are probably, my grandparents would argue, but they probably the greatest grandparents on earth. You know what I mean? So I'm big on family. I'm big on empowering people, educating people, inspiring people. And so, I guarantee that in the midst of this interview, we'll dig some more into it. But if I couldn't say anything and this thing cut off and all you knew about me was that's what I want you to know. I love my family, and I'm here to bring that same love to other people.
That's what's up, man. Us getting back to a place mentally, especially as Black men, where we put our family in the structure of our family, right? Because we can say family and talk all this talk, but in your family, where you have a woman in the house with the woman, kids in the house. Sometimes we get so used to the dysfunctional patterns of our community that we forget just to simplify it. You know what I mean? I have 5 children. My 4 older kids, they went through the visitation child support environment. That's how they were raised. You know what I mean? My youngest son has lived with me his entire life, me and his mom. And the differences in these children, for bad, right or wrong, indifferent, the differences are amazing. The level of confidence he has, the how he views the world, me being able to talk to him every day, driving him to school every day. And in my mind, I'm thinking, this was simple, man. I should have simplified this thing a long time ago. You know what I mean?
Hey, I feel you. And what do people say? Like, hindsight is 2020, right? Like,
all day.
We can always connect the dots backwards, but the beautiful thing is that we do have an opportunity to connect as many dots as we can looking forward with the opportunity that presents itself every day. You being a father to your kids and me being a father to mine, we still have that opportunity to do what we can with what we can while we can. So
get that thing right. Yeah. So I want to dig into it. The first question I have for you. So I want to get into how you became like the educational consultant and the student success coach, like looking at your track record, brother, and what you've been able to do and how you speak to people. It's like beyond motivational. But take me back a little bit. What were you doing before this, bro?
Definitely. So I literally have been doing what I do now since I was about 19 years old. right? And I wasn't doing it professionally. I was just doing it because it was instilled in me from my grandparents. Like everything that I do, everything that people see me do comes directly from my grandparents, then my parents, then my aunties, my uncles, my cousins. Like all of us are in education in some shape, form, or fashion. Aunties from Georgia. I got auntie in Fairfield. I got my grandparents in Georgia as well. Like all of us are educators. My little sister, one of my little sisters, she's an educator. She's a teacher in the school. So we're all, with a solid educational background. We may not like the school system, but we love education, right? Like we're big on educating people to become their best self. And so I've always been in the environment of education, inspiration, empowerment. And so when I was 19, I was a sophomore in college. I went to Fresno State University, ran track at Fresno State. And due to the fact that I loved connecting with people and I had an opportunity as a track athlete to go give back. That's what it was. I was going to a YMCA to give back, right? And so they invited me. I gave a little talk, gave a little spiel, and the people there were blown away. They were like, wait a minute, you're 19 years old, you're running track, you're from Richmond, California, you're a young Black man, and you're able to articulate your thoughts, your ideas, your feelings, your emotions in such a crazy way. Have you ever thought about like doing this on a professional level? And me, I was like, nah, I'm just sharing my story. I'm just sharing where I am. But that was the moment where it was like, whoa, I think I want to continue to use my gift of communication to educate and uplift people, right? So in that moment, I had an idea of how I wanted to move forward. At that time, I was pushing to be a business major. Fast forward, the next year, I have my youngest son while I'm in college. And I had to make a decision, like, was I going to leave and try to just be a father? Was I going to stay in school and try to tough this thing out? And I made the decision to change my major to child development, right? So that, and here's the only reason I did it at that time, which is a blessing. I changed my degree to child development because I was like, if I'm gonna be in school anyway, and I got a brand new baby, I might as well learn so I can apply right away. Like I'm big on information plus application equals transformation. That's what I believe. So if I'm gonna get the information anyway, you're gonna make me come to class at 8:30 in the morning, then I'm gonna go to something that I can like easily apply. So I switched my degree to child development, started applying the things that I was learning, and then graduated on time. Took 25 to 24 units for the last 4 semesters to make sure I graduated on time. And right when I got done, I was like, I'm about to be a teacher. I'm gonna be a teacher, right? Because I had some practice in some of the labs that we had. And fast forward, I ended up teaching at an elementary school. I ended up moving back to Richmond, California a year after I graduated. I helped my boy start a group home in Fresno. We did that for about a year, moved back to Richmond, said I'm gonna start a nonprofit organization. In the midst of that, I was like, I need a job. So let me go work for a school. I started teaching preschoolers. I did that for about a year and was like, this ain't it. I love educating. I don't like the school system though. I knew then that I didn't like how the school system was set up. And many people, many people say the school system is broken. I say it works how it's supposed to work. It's working how it was meant to work. It just don't work for us. So I knew that as a young man, 22, 23 years old, I knew that I didn't like it. And my grandmother was like, that you can still be an educator without being in the system of school that you don't necessarily like. And she, boom, light bulb came on. So in that moment, I was like, all right, well, how do I do this? I started putting plans together to go, I want to speak to schools. I want to speak to basketball teams. I want to speak to the young boys and young women that I see on a daily basis right here in Richmond. Start connecting with parents. And was like, hey, if you know any schools that would love to come have me just share, like, let me know. Snowball effect started happening. A few years later, I said, you know what? This is actually going to be my profession. I'm about to be speaking. I'm about to be consulting for districts, for teachers, for parents, for students. And so that's where the educational consulting piece came in all the way back then. I've just been doing it, now for so long that not only am I able to be a consultant for parents or for teachers, I'm able to be a consultant for school districts all over California and all over the country. So when I consult from a high level mainly, and I'm more so on the social emotional learning side of things, right? So I'm talking about